Contoh, when I think of the Buddha, he was not just a 6 foot tall guy. He is much, much bigger than that. That's in my mind. Now I'm not allowed to do the Buddha, but the Bodhisattva is not small either. So they looked around and they found in Indian art, yakas. Yakas are guardian spirits. You can still find them in Thai temples. Big, fat, ugly, powerful guys. Hey, you want to mess around with me? Okay, so these guys became the first possible inspirations for depicting the Buddha before he became a Buddha. Okay, and there you have this powerful image. Now look, here what are the characteristics? A soft Indian belly. Okay, and a lot of jewelry. A lot of jewelry. Okay, and so these two, they are not Buddhas, yeah? They are yakas. Okay, and when 2nd century BC. Okay, and here is an image of the future Buddha, but notice the similarity. Look at the jewelry. Yeah, look at the very elaborate dressing. Look at the soft Indian belly. Okay, and so here is Maitreya. Is it Maitreya? No, here's a Bodhisattva. This is already a Bodhisattva. Okay, so we are now coming close. No Buddha image yet. Right, then there is a tradition that in the thing that one day there was a king called Udayana. This king came to visit the Buddha, and the Buddha was not in. So he was very disappointed. So he asked Venerable Ananda to ask the Buddha how to remember him. And the story goes that the Buddha sent an SMS to Tavatimsa heaven, where there was a great sculptor, and this god made a statue of the Buddha. And the Buddha gave it to King Udayana. Of course, it's only a tradition, it cannot be true. And that is believed to be the first. And in Korea, we have what is called the Udayana. It's standing, holding like this. Okay? And that is the first. And in Korea and Japan, you have this. Burmese also have it. If you go to brick fields, we have a 5-foot statue of the Buddha standing like this. This we call the Udayana images. Okay? And that is believed to be the first statue, but believed. No historical proof. However, historically, when they were looking, I told you the Greek influence, the Greeks had developed this. But the Greeks had a different point of I think we'll have to come back. The Greeks had a different viewpoint from the Buddhists. Very, very important. All the time we Buddhists are told that this body is not real. That this is only an illusion. How much truer of that than the Buddha? The Buddha said, don't look at this. This is not my body. This is not me. How can you make a statue of somebody who says, I am not here? The Greeks, on the other hand, the beginning of modern science, everything is real. The body is full, solid, real. That's how science evolved. They went all out, making statues to present the human body as something very beautiful, something very real. When we make a Buddha image, both of these we cannot apply. So there is the challenge there. Do you know what this statue is called? Very famous statue. You will be surprised. N-I-K-E, Nike. Yeah. Why? Because she's fixing her. Look at her fixing her shoes. Yeah, so that's where our Nike gets its name from this statue. Okay, never mind. But you see the artist's problem. The artist here is trying to come to terms with how does the material fall on the body. That's the challenge. And you see, almost like it's soft, it's stone. But even here they're not straight, here they're interested. Here they're not interested in the material, they're interested in the body. Here they are still interested in the body. You can actually feel a real body covered by these marvelous folds of the material. It's unbelievably real. Bad Buddhist word. So now what do? I'm an artist, I have a Greek tradition. I'm being told to portray a Buddha who didn't exist at all. What do? You see the challenge and how they meet up with the challenge. These were the early Gandhara, Central. They were not Buddhist and they had a big problem. They were not practicing Buddhist. They were not even Indian. They were making realistic images and this is what they came up with. Notice, see Nike, look at Nike's robes, okay? Yeah. Look at the Buddha's robes. Very, from a Buddhist point of view, very fussy. Very fussy. Who cares about cloth falling on our body? We got bigger things to worry about. But that's all they could do. Very nice. But not the Buddha. On top of that, you can see how they didn't understand what Buddha. Look at his nice little moustache. Taken straight from the chonto of the yaka. Alright? They didn't understand what they meant by this bonjo. So here were people who didn't understand Buddhism making a Buddha image. Okay? On the one hand. Here, it's a lovely image, but fussing around with it, making the Buddha real. So these are beautiful, un-Buddhistic statues. Okay? But, remember I told you Madurai? Look how beautiful this, especially that one. Now look at the Buddha's face. Yeah, it's lovely. Compare this with this horrible image of the Buddha. Yeah, he's like, you want to fight or not? Okay, but this goes far closer to the Buddhist ideal than the other one. Number one, look at the body. It is not muscular. It is not physically attractive at all, Number one, it's a soft body of a man who is an ascetic. Ascetics don't do exercise. Alright, so their muscles are all, their bodies are all rounded and soft. One. Two, yeah, look at the way the feet are held. Okay? Look, no messing around with what the uniform looks like. Alright? Problem here. Because the guys who made this were not Buddhists either. They were Hindus. So the Hindus thought this is like a bais, long hair tied up. Here. Probably. But look at the face. The face is not in this world. This is the face of meditation. You see? So I am here not trying to represent a Buddha, but I am here representing meditation. Meditation is not a real thing. But look at his face. His world is, look at the smile. Look at the eyes. Yeah, compare that with Nike earlier. Okay? And look at the confidence with which this Buddha is seated. Madurai, India. Alright? There is a problem here. This shows us it is not Buddhist. We will come to that in a minute. Now, 5th century, Gupta. You have seen this at Sarnath in the museum. The corner wall. This is the most successful after 1,000 years. 5th century BC to 5th century, 1,000 years to get everything correct. What had to get correct? I drew attention to the bonjo. those who didn't